I think one of the most important things in this business is you have to be prepared to be disappointed. You know, most A&Rs, they don't know shit about music. There's this guy or girl that is an A&R and that says no to your record. You know, it
doesn't mean it's bad.
Exactly.
OK， 今天我们下午逛了一天，然后现在终于找了一个饭馆坐下来，然后我现在准备了一些问题，打算问一下 BLR. Question number one: What is your DAW journey?
Oh, there's not much of a journey there. I mean, because I've been active in the music production for a long time. So back in the day, when I found out I wanted to make music, I was a kid. I was like 13 because in the Netherlands, Eurodance was a big thing.
Yeah.
And there was this act called Too Unlimited. And they had a track called No Limit. And I was just listening to it and it was like totally new for me. So I never heard something like that before. And I was just like trying to figure out how they made it. I felt like that's what I want to do with my life.
So that's like how you first get into the...
Yeah. And then at some point I got, was still on CD-ROM. Mm-hmm. And there was like all those demos for games. So I was just checking them. And then there was like this little software program I opened. And it was a tracker, like that super old school. It had a play button and it started playing like a Eurodance song. They sampled and they put it back together in that program. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. And it was on my dad's computer. Like he had an office at home. Me and my brother, we also had a computer, but it was like super slow.
Okay.
This one is a bit faster. So whenever he would be away, be on the computer. And only later on, a friend of mine, he gives me also like a CDR. He's like, yo, you're into making music. I found this thing and you can make like CD quality music with this. And it was Cubase. And ever since I've been using it. And you know, I also do stuff in like Ableton. And when I'm in the studio with someone that works on Mac, it's usually on Logic. I mean, I know all the ins and outs of Cubase and I just like the way it sounds.
所以他最开始就是用 Cubase， 然后一直到现在。Okay, what are the 3 plugins that you cannot live without?
I think right now Pro Q4, it's just an EQ, but it's just amazing for what it does.
How do you think the Pro Q4 update compared to 3?
It's not like they do an up and you're not like, oh, I'm blown away. But then you start using it and then you discover, oh, they done this. Oh, that's so smart.
Like, that's helpful.
Yeah, exactly. So the bread and butter EQ on every channel.
Okay.
Like I don't use the native EQ, it's just Pro Q. Then like kind of use it blindly.
Okay.
So that's the first. Second one, I would say Diva. I remember I bought Diva when it was like just released. I was on a flight and I was reading this magazine, I think it was Computer Music.
Yeah.
And they had a review and I think they rated like 10 out of 10. Went home and without like trying to, I bought it. And I think it's in 100% of my production. And then the third one is Serum. Pro Q is for EQ, is Serum for synth. You know, I want to have a super saw. I open Serum. Done. And Diva is different. Diva is like, I can compare it more to like a Pultec EQ. Like it's like I want to have something special and like warm or like wobbly or whatever. So Pro Q, Diva, Serum.
Okay, so you mentioned 2. So Diva and Serum, they're all like instruments.
Yeah.
What about plugins?
Realm, Reverb.
For native instrument?
Yeah.
That one was so good. I saw a lot of Dutch people using that.
Yeah, is it like a Dutch thing? But it's just this very specific reverb I put on stuff. I want to have like the big... the wall of sound. Like, you know, let's say more to the big room or the bunker kind of vibe. Then I use those kind of reverbs. But like if I want to have a vocal that has more the nice smooth reverbs, I use something different like Valhalla or Lexicon. So yeah, Realm is in all of my productions for sure. So many amazing plugins out there.
So many amazing plugins. What's the one that you cannot live without?
H delay.
H delay?
Yeah. Also boring answer. But like those are there's all those special plugins you would use once in a while, but like Pro Q, Realm and H delay is like I make, you know, whatever, where I open a vocal or I make a melody.
Yeah.
I need delay. I open that one and I already set it up, like the default setting is already the way I want it. I just have to, you know, open the dry wet and that's it. And for H delay, I like it because I can really do like the automation with like the feedback and you know, when it goes like in the feedback loop and I like really control it.
Oh, so you automate?
Yeah, I automate it. So, and then, you know, when it starts to really go out of control and then like you take it back a bit so you can make like those really long, you know?
That's good to know, because normally when I process delay stuff, I would do another print and then just print the tail that I wanted and I duplicate the track. I put another delay to make it 100% wet. Just like only trigger that part of the delay.
Right.
Like
It's just like if you put like the feedback to I think 95 to 100, then it starts to like self-oscillate.
Yeah.
And then you just take it back a tiny bit, and then you could get like super long. And then with the wetness, you can just like whenever you want to take it out, then you just alternate wetness down.
This time, because when we're doing the head rush, our song, I found out your way of processing your low end. It's so different and it's so big.
Everyone asks me that.
And it's so crazy. So is there anything that you can tell us about how you process your low end?
I don't even think it's about the processing. I mean, obviously, because I work within my mastering chain. So I have like a template, a template I open before I start working on a track. And it opens like all the buses and it goes through like the master chain. And so everything is set up. On the low end, I know from top of my head, I have a pull tag on the kick channel. That does the pull tag trick, but like the whole low end thing, it's about like sound choice. And then I know what to do to it, but like let's say techno rumble, I know how to create it with the reverb and the way I filter it. But it's like I think most of the work is done with like I hear it and I know this is right, this works. And if it doesn't work, I keep.
Yeah, because like when I first heard your production, I thought you must using a really good speakers. 因为我上一次我跟他在视频通话的时候，然后他给我拍了一下他房间的做歌的音响，其实是一对非常小的音响，然后我就觉得很厉害，他能用一对很小的音响，然后做出这么大能量的这种 low end， 而且能够在 club 里面也能够听得很清楚，所以我觉得他这一点是非常厉害的。
Yeah, but the thing about that, if you use like a subwoofer, which is fine, but it gotta be in your production, not in your speaker, right?
Yeah.
But the Neumanns, I kind of blindly bought them a couple years ago because a colleague, friend of mine, is a great producer. He told me I just bought the Neumanns and they're amazing. I'm like, okay, I'll just buy them as well because my previous monitors were like, on their last legs. So I bought those and never looked back. And I know they're not like huge speakers and stuff, but they show me what I want to hear. And if stuff sounds big on those speakers, it sounds big everywhere.
That's the real talk from an experienced producer. So if you were a up-and-coming artist in 2025, give us 3 things that you think is the most important thing.
I think the most important thing for, let's say, longevity, obviously you can have a track that blows up on TikTok and then you can cash in, which is great, good for you if that happens. But in the end, let's say after that, people got to know you for the way you sound, right? It's about having some uniqueness to it. I guess if you combine that with online presence plus the way your production sound, then you could have a winning combo. Second thing, I still watch tutorials nearly every day.
Watching new plugins.
Yeah. So, and it's always good to see how other people do stuff. And then at the same time, there's a lot of tutorials out there. They will tell you you have to low cut everything and except for the kick. And then sometimes something might sound better if you don't. So you also got to trust your ears.
Yep.
Third thing, I think one of the most important things in this business is you have to be prepared to be disappointed.
Talk to us.
Because everyone can promise you something, like you have a manager or an A&R and they're gonna say we're gonna do this with your track and that's gonna happen, and then it doesn't happen because of reasons. Because they don't care. So if at that point you get so disappointed, you're like,
what am I doing?
Quit or stuff like that, or be blame the industry, of course, or the industry might be to blame, but they don't care, right? So in the end, for me, if something happens I didn't like, I might be mad for half an hour, and then I'm like, I'll make another track and I'll show them,
Because since that you talk about the industry and managers, label and whatsoever, do you think signing to a label is important as a dance act?
Especially it's your music, so why wouldn't you promote it? So that's one. Then I actually had a discussion with a mate of mine, also a producer, and he goes so labels are taking this chunk of your royalties, and it's so easy to do a self-release, so why would you need labels?
Yeah.
On one hand, you're right, but on the other hand, those labels, the value they can add when it comes to, for example, majors, they know their way around to radio and that kind of stuff. When it comes to like more indie dance labels, sometimes owned by other artists, they have a certain fan base. Whenever they send out a promo, you know, the right people will open the email. For example, if you sign a track to Drum Code, you know, certain kind of DJs, like the techno DJs, they're gonna open the promo and at least they're gonna listen to it. So there's a big chance they're gonna be playing it out. And so you make your name like that.
Reputation and...
Yeah. So that's kind of like the trade-off. Like they take a bunch of your royalties, but they're gonna give you exposure and they're gonna give you street credibility.
You talk about the DJ promo.
Yeah.
Can you explain how DJ promo works?
So they use a system called InFlight. That's like a very universal use system. In this case, label, they built a reputation for themselves. For example, I send them a track, they will listen to it first. I tell them like, hey, I want this sent out to like the techno, trance and house guys. Okay. And they listen to it and they will first check if they think they can get you results. Because if they send out stuff that's not good enough, DJs stop opening their emails, right? So then they will send it to like the pools of DJs. They think it's a fit. They send it out and like the DJs check it and they start playing it in their radio shows or live sets. Then you can see the results dropping in. And
for example, if you receive someone else's promo and when you play it, do you get paid by that?
No. Back in the day, you would hear a new song and you go to your friends like, hey, listen to this, right? But now you have a bigger crowd. You got a promo and you're like, this is so good, they gotta hear it. I can't wait to play it for the crowd. So it's not about like, oh yeah, let's just play music that makes me money, right? It's like sharing music.
因为我们这一次的歌，他当时提到做一些 DJ promo 的，其实我之前也有收到一些猫场的 DJ promo 的 email， 但是我一直都对这个系统还是有一些疑惑的，所以刚好问问他，他也是在这一方面比较有经验。If you want to play a better slop time in a festival.
Like more prime time?
Yeah. What do you think that matters the most?
It's about hype. If you have a big hit, you know, it doesn't matter really what kind of sets you play.
So it's about numbers.
Of course. Especially on the main stages of festivals, there's not like the opener, but there's like, usually there's not like really a build-up, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, then there's this techno guy, and then there's like a trance guy and a house guy.
Yeah.
Well, it's all based on name, right? So if there's a lot of hype, you're gonna get a good slot.
So do you think you have your own show?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because it sounds a bit cynical when you talk about like numbers. So in the end, you can still have the approach of like, you know, staying true to yourself and like make the music you want to create. And at the same time, obviously, you still gotta also look at the market a bit without like over adjusting, but still you gotta see what's going on. And because that's what I always do. I see what's out there and then I just pick the elements I like and I make them my own and then take it from there and be consistent. And then every now and then like some track blows up and that's when you get the emails like, hey man, big fan.
So right now, are you managing yourself as a
bunch of people working for me, but not on an exclusive basis because I like that. So there's always the incentive for them to work instead of like, yeah, they can just charge their cut on top. But you know, never say never. If the right opportunity or the right offer comes by, I might enter into an exclusive deal. I like to be always knowing what my options are.
Okay. The very last question. Any word to the up-and-coming Chinese DJ producers that you want to say to him?
Like I said earlier, like don't get disappointed. I think that's one of the biggest qualities you need to have to make it in this business. When there's setbacks, that you keep going, and you gotta be honest to yourself. You gotta know if something is good enough or not. But if you're 100% sure your stuff is good enough or even better than what's out there, you know, most A&Rs or many A&Rs, they don't know shit about music, right? So they're gatekeeping. So there's this guy or girl that is an A&R and that says no to your record. Then, you know, it
doesn't mean it's bad.
Exactly. So don't get disappointed. If you know your stuff's good, just keep going. And if no one bites, self-promote. There's never been as many opportunities with that as nowadays. So.
Yeah, because right now the TikTok, everything.
Exactly.
So thank you, Leon, today. He has answered a lot of big questions, very heavy questions, but also very nerdy questions.
Nerdy questions,
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys like it and make sure you comment, you like, subscribe, everything. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.